the cube will now initiate.
Hello, 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 and welcome to episode number 113 of the Curve the Cube podcast. This is your host, Jaime. Hello, I'm so excited to have you here today. We're going to cover so much good stuff. Oh my gosh, I have a fantastic guest. You're going to love him. And if you're not bright-eyed and wide awake at the end of this episode, then that's on you, because my guest is supercharged with energy. Absolutely loved him. Just want to remind you guys about the new website. There is lots of good stuff on curvethecube.com now, and I'm still loading in the backlog of episodes, so there are a lot more of those yet to come. But there's, of course, also new space for the learning curve, full of tips and tricks for all of you curvists to go from being dreamers to being doers. And speaking of going from being a dreamer to a doer, find the Facebook group I've created just for you, yes you, called Dreamers Become Doers. Go to dreamersbecomedoers.com or facebook.com/groups/dreamersbecomedoers, and you will find the group there. We're just getting started, but we are revving right up. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my journal note. So let's start with the bad news first, guys. It's not fun. A lot of you have been wondering and waiting with bated breath, I am so sure, as to whether or not I got accepted as a speaker at Podcast Movement. So, I did not make the cut. Wah, wah, wah. So, if you guys remember, this is one I was really excited about submitting myself for, but yeah, not everything works out, but you got to keep putting yourself out there for opportunities, and don't fret, because I've submitted myself for a few other things. So keep yourself posted. I'll keep you posted on all of that. So please keep your fingers crossed and your prayers coming. I really, really appreciate that, as I continue to look for opportunities to speak to the masses. Another thing I want to tell you about was that my appearance on Jared Easley's show, Starve the Doubts, was released on the 30th. So if you have not caught that interview yet, go catch it. The podcast is called Starve the Doubts, and it was a lot of fun recording that with him. So thank you, Jared. And a couple other mail issues, and I mean in a good way. So, you know that whole thing, snail mail, that we used to always use for pen paling and all that kind of fun stuff? Well, I just got a taste of that again. It was very exciting. I just received a couple of postcards in the mail. I received such an awesome one from Chris Kermitzos at Podfest. I'll read it to you real quick. He said, Jaime, so proud to watch you shine. You definitely deserve the award She Podcast bestowed upon you. Keep lifting others up with your smile and boundless energy. Truly grateful to have you part of our family. Respectfully, Chris Kermitzos. Oh my gosh, wasn't that so sweet? Oh, how nice. It was so much fun getting to meet him in February, and he is a true testament to the power of building up your community, because what he's done with his local business community in Tampa and with Podfest is just, it was a marvel to watch. So I really need to have him on the show sometime. But thank you so much, Chris, for that. And I received an image of another Podfest postcard, though I'm not quite sure who it's from yet. Chris emailed me the image, so I look forward to getting my hands on the actual postcard so I can thank them. But it says, Jaime, thank you for your advice on contacting others through Facebook groups. I can't wait to put it into practice. Hope to see you back here next year. So thank you to the anonymous writer who sent me that postcard. That's super sweet. And take their advice, guys. Go to facebook.com and check out Dreamers Become Doers, or any other Facebook group that works for what you're looking for, look in your needs. Very, very helpful. Oh, I also want to say thank you to everyone who attended the last Palm Beach Podcasters meetup group. There was a great number of newbies at that session, and I was so excited to see them. We started off sharing info about Podfest, but we also ended up talking a lot about just how to get started, which was so much fun. Speaking of getting started, let's get started with this episode already. Jeez, I've been blathering on, haven't I? So today's guest is the uncontainable Michael Spaz McGoorty, who is the band leader for the Pure Zeppelin Experience. He's an accomplished actor as well, and half of the N Spaz Comedy company. This is a super high energy podcast episode, and I had a great time talking to him about everything he's doing. Plus, we talk about 3 topics that I take to the end in the learning curve: getting booked, helping others as you help yourself, and making your own opportunities happen. Thank you so much to Spaz for meeting up with me for today's episode. We had decided to get together in Lake Worth, which was a really fun location, atmosphere-wise, but not so great audio-wise. Grumble, grumble. So we set up shop outside of a Kilwins, such good ice cream, by the way. But there was still overhead music, so thank God for my mini voice recorder and lav mics being there as my backup mobile setup to pick up our voices a little bit better. So you'll hear it. It's nice. And the background music, it's fun. It's funky. And you'll want to listen to every last bit of this episode, people, because there will be details about a special contest for a night out at the Improv in West Palm Beach from N Spaz Comedy themselves. So it's going to be so much fun. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hey!
Morning, Led Zeppelin.
Oh, really?
As soon as I walk by and I hear Zeppelin.
How's it going?
I'm good, baby.
Good. But yeah, when I was looking into your background and after a conversation with
We need
Scotty,
to have this while we're on the podcast.
We're rolling.
We already
We're rolling, man.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're rolling. We're hot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So go ahead, say what you want to say.
Yeah, when I was talking to Scotty and then when I was looking up what you do, I'm not kidding. I'm like, this guy might be the one person who's busier and more crazier out there than me.
Yeah,
like, and you.
And there couldn't be anyone.
And you seem to live up to your name.
Oh,
full
Spaz.
stop.
Yeah, I do. I so do. But that's not why I got the name. I got the name because of my stage antics. I was all over the place, and a guy just kept calling me a Spaz. He goes, "You're all over the place."
Yeah. Well, it's funny because
I'm all over the place anyway.
that actually was a nickname for me in middle school because.
Oh yeah, we are slapping 5, by the way.
I love it.
When I meet another Spaz, this is a great
my
day.
listeners know that that's like my thing. I love high fives, so we're on board. But yeah, when I was in middle school, my friend Sam Cerniker, so shout out to Sam.
Hey, Sam.
She's not Sam Green now, I think, but Sam used to just be able to say the word spaz to me, and I would bust out laughing. There was something about that word, so it kind of became a nickname for me. So
awesome.
Right there with you, man. Right there with you.
See, I knew me and you had a kindred spirit.
We
just
totally
didn't know where
did.
it came from. But yeah, so
Exactly.
you saw that I do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you do a lot
I'm
of
involved.
stuff.
I got my hands in a lot of stuff because I'm very creative and entertainer.
Clearly.
I'm an entertainer.
Clearly. So when I first heard about you was back when I was having lunch one day with Scotty many months ago.
Okay.
And he was telling me about the work that he was doing with you. So it's such like kismet that we just ran into each other in a completely other way, with gin and
we
Kravitz.
ran into each other at the Kravitz
Yes.
at the Phantom of the Opera, which is like,
which
come
is
on.
so not how I expected I'd eventually meet
Right.
Spaz.
I mean, comedian, Led Zeppelin tribute singer, also Broadway actor.
Yes.
And I do Broadway shows.
I know you've
Yeah.
done you've done lots of stuff.
Yes, I'm doing all kinds. So I'm working on something right now. I'm going to do the Who's Tommy. But I'm just putting it together right now because I kind of miss being on stage, especially after seeing the Phantom.
Yes.
Now my daughter, I'm singing all the songs now.
Yes.
Music.
Did you get a goodie bag with the music in it?
Did you get one?
I kind of did.
How'd you get one?
I don't know.
Hey, I was supposed to
Not
get one. I was
revealing my
media.
sources.
I was media.
Well then, yeah, you need to go back to Jen and say, hey, where's my media bag?
I could do that. couldn't
Yeah,
I?
you totally could.
Gin is code word for someone that we can't tell you.
It was amazing, and it's been on this podcast.
But she doesn't live here. She lives in England.
Oh, she lives in England. She's been on this podcast as a guest. She's fantastic.
She's the best.
Oh, she is.
I
She
love Jen.
truly is. But
Anyway, so get back to
tell me about how you got started with, because you've been in a lot of bands I saw over the years. So what makes this the Pure Zeppelin Experience different?
The reason that it's so different is because I have been in a lot of bands, original bands, cover bands, Christian band.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is, the Led Zeppelin has always been my favorite.
Yeah.
And you know, I've always in any of your songs tried to incorporate Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And every time, especially in my cover band, we would get to shows and stuff, and they would say, Led Zeppelin, it's past Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
They'd be calling it out all night. So we had a lot of Led Zeppelin songs, and we did it real well. Everybody goes, why aren't you doing a Led Zeppelin tribute? I go, I got time for that.
I'm doing 18 million other things.
The reason I love singing
Don't you know
Beatles.
my name?
I love singing Queen and Rolling Stones. And I was singing the whole plethora of songs.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to give up to Zeppelin.
Gotcha.
But then I started thinking, I really would love to do this. So, you know, then I put together a little group, and we started playing like acoustic stuff, Led Zeppelin stuff. And then my dearest friend in the world, Gary, was in another band, and he said, well, listen, the singer that we got, would you do a couple shows with me? I got him on the books. Can you do it? So I said, of course.
Cool.
And I think this is like a bucket list.
Yeah.
So we did the Lyric Theater. And it was great. He says, "Do you want to be my partner and be in the band?" I said, "Yeah, okay."
All right.
And there it is. And now we played Kravis Center. We just did Kravis. And we just played. We're playing at the Lake Worth. Where are we in? Are we in Lake Worth? No, Wellington.
Wellington.
We're coming to Wellington May 6th. We're doing a big free outdoor show at the Wellington Amphitheater May 6th.
Yeah.
And then May 28th, May 28th, we're at the Bowery in West Palm Beach, right in the City Place.
That's so funny. You know, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I've seen you perform, but not because I haven't actually made it yet. Yeah. There were a couple times where I tried to.
Oh, you're going to come now, girl, because we're going live with the podcast at our show.
Absolutely, but Scotty has sent me videos because he wanted to show me his lights and his lasers and things.
And you guys are probably wondering, who is Scotty? Well,
they know Scotty.
Okay, you know Scotty.
They know Scotty.
Okay.
Scotty's been on in his own episode, as you're on now, guested. But he's also part of what I call my pod squad. He comes on and does fun episodes.
I love
with me,
Scotty.
So,
But the thing of it is, he does all our laser lights.
Yeah.
And so we take you back to the 70s.
Yeah.
So if you're in the area, we won't have the lasers May 6th, but if you come May 28th to the Palm Beach, to Bowery, and I do believe you can get tickets on, what's their website? I think it's BoweryWP.com.
Okay.
West Palm for West Palm.
Okay.
And you can get tickets there. It's the Memorial Day blowout weekend, 28 Pure Zeppelin Experience, and we're gonna have a laser light show. We're gonna take you back to the 70s, man.
All right. You know, look, okay, so when I was thinking about it, I'm like, man, if there's one thing that 70s rock songs are known for, super long intros.
Yeah,
like some of the longest intros in music history. So now you emulate Robert Plant, right?
Yes.
So you're up there. I gotta ask you, I've always wondered, what the heck does the lead singer do during like those minutes on stage where you're not singing anything?
You just look cool, man. Look cool and just kind of like pose.
Yeah.
Have a tambourine, I play a tambourine. I'll just look, rock with the music.
I've always wondered. How do you
back
time?
in the day, in the 70s, it was like that because everybody was, skied up.
That's true.
It's not so much anymore.
That's true.
So now we're all ADD. Yeah. Let's go. Next song.
Let's go.
Song.
Perform.
Okay, we know this song. Go to the next one. Go to the next one.
You're right.
You're right. We concentrate on doing a concert.
Yeah.
But we want to do the song the way that people hear it on the radio.
So it's that real true atmosphere.
So it's
that's
not the 20-minute guitar solo. The guitar solo is 2 minutes. Because guess what? In 2 minutes, the guy Keith Ronaldo, who plays Jimmy Page, is phenomenal. He plays guitar better than anybody.
Wow.
He's amazing. He is spot on Jimmy Page. But he won't play longer because if you listen to the records, he didn't have 10-minute, 12-minute guitar solos.
Yeah.
Only the live stuff was like that. And it's good in one way, but in another way, we can play more songs and play longer.
That's true.
Give you more for your buck.
Have you ever heard of a local band of kids called Crush?
Yes.
Love them.
Yes, I know who Crush is.
They're so sweet. They were guests in the episodes about a year ago, and I'm a big fan of theirs. And when you were talking about your guy playing the guitar, I immediately thought of Lil Nicky, who's their guitarist, and he's just amazing. So I always admire a good guitarist.
One of their dads manages them. I was going to help those guys out, but I just could never help. I talked to them a little bit in the beginning. I wanted to try to help them because I thought that they were really good. And they had something going, but they need songs.
But they're really doing a great job. But anyways, but this isn't about them. This is about you.
Yeah, I know.
I was thinking about, okay, so you've been in the game for a while.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people who are trying to do something really cool and fun and unique that they love run into a similar stumbling block where they're trying to get booked onto something, but you can't get booked unless you have material to show somebody.
Right.
But you can't get material to show somebody until you get booked. Right. And it's like this awful vicious cycle for the people who are like just starting. So how do you break through that and get material that you can put out there, or how do you get booked anyway? How do you work through that?
The only, without giving away all the truth.
I know.
You know, the best advice, if somebody was listening, just like you're saying, and starting out, my advice to them would be play anywhere, anytime, any day, all the time. Just play and create a vibe.
Yeah.
And I promise you, get the vibe, get the special events, and get that, you know, that eclectic draw.
Yeah.
And everything else will fall into place, man. Because everybody wants to put, well, I got to make a demo, and I got to give it to the demo, and then you got to give it to the guy, and if he likes it, what if he doesn't like it? Well, he's not going to like it because he doesn't know what he likes. He doesn't know where the music business is going. No, none of us do. Nobody can predict the future. So, but if you are demand it because of the popularity of your band, all the doors open.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then somebody will be going, we want to record you. Well, let's do this.
Well, I want to be part of this.
It won't even matter. I got to tell you something. Everybody makes these videos and tapes and stuff for gigs. I've never made one.
Wow.
You know why? Because they want to book me.
Yeah.
I got an energy. I got a draw. We can put people and make their money. Why wouldn't they want us?
Yeah.
You know, it's like everybody, well, you got a press kit? You got a tape? You got a video? How about we just sold the crevists out? Okay, hey, no problem, you're in.
Right.
You know? Plus, we've got a reputation. We've done a lot of shows. But it wasn't overnight.
Right.
You know, it takes perseverance, and you got to be willing to sacrifice a little bit.
That's
true. You got to play whenever you can.
That's true.
Just play.
So, when did you get started in comedy? What's your comedy origin story? Where did this start? Yeah.
Well, first of all, every time I'm on stage, I'm a lead singer, so I'm already funny.
That's true.
You got to keep, you know, the guitar player breaks a string, they look at you, do something.
Right.
Hey, how's everybody doing? And then I mess with the audience, and I'm fun, and I'm, you know,
you probably have. I know you were on the radio for a time.
I was on
like
CCR.
All kicks right in.
Yeah, I was on CCR.
Yeah, you go right back into. I can stretch.
I loved you. So no, but the point being is about the comedy.
Yeah.
My nephew, who's my partner, is Casey. We're Casey and Spaz Comedy.
Oh, you guys are nephew
we grew up,
and uncle. Okay.
I grew up with him because I lived with my sister.
Okay.
Because I'm the wedding singer. No.
Oh yeah.
In the garage, in the basement. No. Right. So he grew up with me.
Yeah.
I was always around, and I was in bands, and you know, and Casey is the greatest kid. And he loves comedy, so he wanted to do comedy, so of course, why wouldn't I help him?
Yeah.
So I went out to see him, and I said, listen, you guys should be doing this, and you should be doing that, because I love this kid. Of course I want to help him.
Right.
And he said, well, what do you think I should do? And he actually was open to some of my ideas, him and this other guy. So us three formed something and started doing comedy. I said, I got a great idea. And we ran with it. With their expertise and mine, we formed this company. And we called ourselves the Son of a Beach Comedy. Like beach.
Yeah.
Son of a beach. I know, right? And we were doing well. We were playing clubs, and then we got this other club. I talked this guy into letting us do it, and then we started doing an open mic night, but we bring in national acts. And it just went crazy. Next thing you know, and again, my nephew, you know, who's just the greatest kid in the world.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's been on stage with 5 people from Saturday Night Live. Kevin Nealon.
Wow.
David Spade. John Lovitz.
Wow.
Who's the other one? Come on. Rob Schneider.
Really?
And somebody else. I can't think of the other guy's name.
Okay.
Dave Coulier from Full House. Well, we just did a show with him. But anyway.
Wow. Gotta have Casey on the podcast sometime.
Yeah, we gotta have Casey next time. But we'll have him next.
Okay.
But what I was gonna say was, so the comedy, we're family. We've been doing it 8 years.
Wow.
And we got a break because we were doing this open mic night at a place in Port St. Lucie called Mickey Finn's. We were bringing in major acts. because they were playing the Improv or they were in Orlando, and they says, hey, it was a Wednesday. So this Wednesday, became a Wild Wednesday, and a lot of the comedians would call us and call Casey and go, hey, listen, I want to come do some material.
Yeah.
Because they were trying new stuff out.
Yeah.
And you got an audience.
Wow.
And they got paid. It's a beautiful thing.
That's a great way to start.
It was.
Oh my God.
And again, it's like saying back to everybody, that's how you start off.
Yeah.
All these comedians that we work with, they'll drive an hour and a half to do a show with us because it's a great room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we did that for a long time, and then we were taken under the wing by Renee Hart from Improv. And she said, listen, I've got this other room. I'm not really coming back and forth. Why don't you guys work for me and take it over? So we started working the Sunrise Theater in Fort Pierce, Black Box.
Wow.
And it got to the point where we were doing everything, and Renee just said, listen, you guys do it. Just take it.
Wow.
So me and Casey took it over, and we've been there 5 years.
It sounds like it comes with a lot of perseverance, never really knowing what's going to come of it, but you just keep going.
You got to keep
do
going,
it.
and you got to be funny.
Yeah.
And you got to deliver a good show every week. Now, me and Casey are there every second and fourth Saturday of the month in Fort Pierce, and it's a 210 seat Black Box. We just had Michael Winslow there from Police Academy.
I saw that.
And we just had Bobby Collins.
That's awesome.
Who's like renowned international comedian, very famous.
Yeah.
We just had Wendy Lieberman, and we had Michelle Ball from America's Got Talent and Last Comic Standing. So we're constantly bringing in great names.
Yeah.
But again, it's the brand. Casey and Spaz Comedy and Comedy Corner have now branded this where it is always going to be a great show. No, you don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
No, we got Ron Feingold today.
Yeah, I saw
Tonight.
that. I saw that.
Okay. Do you know Ron?
I'm not very familiar with him, but I saw the
He's
clip.
amazing.
I watched the clip that you have on the...
He is amazing. He's a very funny comedian. He does a lot of cruise ships and a lot of colleges and he does the Improv as well. But, he's not, didn't do Johnny Carson or Letterman or anything. He isn't there yet. He's gonna be.
Yeah.
But he's just as good as those guys that you see on Letterman, but he's not there yet.
Why did that factor into the equation? Like, why did helping other comedians come up, and why was that something that you thought was a no-brainer for you?
It wasn't so much. It wasn't a no-brainer. What it was it was a platform and a place where we did it every Wednesday, and we had a family. And we actually call all the guys, we call them our bullpen comics, because we could rely on them. And we're talking 10, 15 guys would come out a night. Well, what club owner wouldn't want 15 guys?
Yeah.
And plus they come, they eat, they drink.
Yeah, you created like a community.
They spend money, they bring their friends.
Yeah.
But you're giving them, there's a platform.
Right.
It's a vehicle for them to do their comedy. And we didn't make a lot of money. Me and Casey loved doing it because it was a stepping stone for what we really want to do. And now we're really doing what we want to do. We're at the Sunrise Theater. Yeah. We've been there 5 years, and now we're going to be at the Improv. Yeah. We're at the Improv. I mean, that is awesome. And we started this new program with Renee and Renee Hart and the West Palm Beach Improv called Eats, Beats, and Laughs.
Which I'm so excited to check that out sometime.
Eating, they got a full kitchen and a full bar.
I don't think you're missing anything on that.
Yeah, we're gonna do tributes to the music of groups like this coming April 26th is our first one at the West Palm Beach Improv. Okay. And we're going to be doing a tribute to the music of Eric Clapton and Paul McCartney. Wow. And we've got Frankie.
Oh, it's going to be such a good show.
We got Frankie Paul, who's an amazing comedian. Wow. So we're going to have comedy. So eats, full bar, and drinks. Beats, tribute to the music of Eric Clapton and Paul McCartney. And laughs, Frankie Paul.
I just have to pause. All the single dudes in the Palm Beach area, this would be a killer date night.
Yes.
So go get a couple tickets.
Yeah, go get a couple tickets.
And tell your dude friends do the same thing.
And hey, listen, if you go, right now we've got a special going. If they go to Casey and Spaz Comedy .showclicks.com, we're doing a buy one, get one.
What?
That's right. You buy a ticket, you get one free.
And you said it's April 26th?
And it's $15, so you get 2 tickets for $15. It's $7.50. You get to see a tribute band and a comedian. And that's cheap, $7.50.
April 26th?
April 26th, 8 o'clock.
This will be out on the 5th, what's the date? On the 15th. So
we're going to run this every day. This will be the best podcast ever. No, just kidding. No, but April 20th. So anyway, getting back to the comedy. And like you said, everybody, the stepping stone for Casey and I was to open up these other places. And we've also worked in some other places. You know, we just did a show at the Lyric Theater with Dave Coulier.
Yeah.
From Full House.
Yeah.
Did really well with it.
That's great.
So we're working with those kind of comedians, and we're very lucky to. We did a show with, we just did a show at Distillery with, his name is Eddie Brill. He had 10 David Letterman appearances.
Wow.
And he was the booker for David Letterman, and he was the warm-up comedian before Dave came out. He would get the audience, you know, revved up and stuff like, because it's live TV.
Seems like you know how to really build a community, make connections, but it doesn't seem like it's even an intentional thing, as in, like you're strategizing. It just seems like this is who you are. You just naturally build this.
That is
yeah.
You're right. I was just talking to somebody, and they were like, we went out to dinner or something. They go, please don't talk to this guy about doing a promotion. I'm kidding you. I am not kidding you. And I said,
but what else would I talk about?
Where is that coming from? And they go, listen, we love you, Spaz, but come on, man. Seriously. Come on.
Gotta turn it off every once in a while.
You gotta turn it off. And I said, yeah, how can you?
Yeah, I know.
How do you?
It's hard.
Let me ask you this to you. If you're somewhere and somebody goes, oh yeah, you know, we were thinking about getting a podcast, do you shut up and go, hey, I'll do a podcast with Killwins if you pay me?
Yeah, I don't think why should I shut up? There's no way.
Because
There's
you know
no
what?
way.
That's how you're growing your business.
Yeah.
And me and Casey, and again, I have so much respect for him because he's such a talented comedian, and he's taught me so much. And he always says, Spaz, you're funny anyway. If we could just channel some of your story to take out, you're hilarious. And he helps me. And I do have a good act.
Totally.
I do have some funny stuff that happened and I tell the true stories, and they're funny.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was, me and Casey have no problem with taking some 4x6 cards.
Yeah.
And walking around. In fact, that's where I saw you. I gave you one of my cards.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Where was I?
Yeah.
At Phantom of the Opera, and I'm passing out comedy cards. Am I right? We do it all the time.
Exactly.
We'll walk up to complete strangers. Do you like comedy? And we go to the Improv.
Well, you have to do it. You
go to the
them
Improv
for a reason. I mean,
I got 5,000 of these cards. I'm going to give them to as many people as I can.
Right.
Tell them what's going on. Hey, here's the good news, man. We got comedy at West Palm Beach Improv plus music together. We call it Eats, Beats, and Laughs. It's a great concept. It really is. And we're out there talking to complete strangers.
I know that you mentioned acting before, and that you've done some stuff
years ago, I was in a community theater show. Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
It was just a bucket list thing. I played Judas, and I got the bug, man. So I want to do this again. So I produced it all over the place. I did. We actually started a company.
There you go.
Me and 3 other guys started this company, and we started doing shows. We did one in Melbourne, and then the guy that was doing it with me, Mark Clark, he says, you know, we can't be a one-trick pony and just do Jesus Christ Superstar. Let's come up with a season. So we thought about a season. So we sat and we put a season together.
Oh my God.
We did Tommy.
Stop it.
The Who's Tommy.
Oh my
I played Tommy. I played the lead in that show. That was amazing. Then we did A Christmas Carol.
Wow.
Okay. And then we did Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
My God.
And we ended the show with Amadeus Mozart.
That's awesome.
And that was our lineup. We did this show, and everybody's like standing back going, what?
Wow.
Because who did the Who's Tommy in Stewart, Florida?
But you know what I love about that? That's a testament to something else. That when you want to do something, like you saying you caught the bug and you wanted to do more, that you don't wait for someone else to give you an opportunity. You create your own opportunity.
I make it happen. I'm the guy with the machetes that knocks the trees down, and the rest of the band follows through. And they play the clubs that we open.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah, I believe you. I completely 100% believe you.
You gotta do that, though. I mean, you're not gonna get anywhere. All the bands are sitting around. When I first moved here in 1986, everybody said, "What do you can't do original music here. It's not allowed." Why not? Why can't we? Well, you just can't. I'm from Detroit. Well, all I did was original.
Right.
So I said, why can't I do original music in Florida? It doesn't make sense because Nobody's going to come. I said, okay. I proved everyone wrong. We put a band together, did nothing but originals, and we were the hottest band, sold out everywhere we went. We were called the Cadillac Brass. And what we did was we did all original, but did 2 cover songs. Mm-hmm. So when they'd say, do you play? Yeah, we do covers.
Yeah. It's
2.
brilliant.
So it was, right? So we switched it. We turned it.
Yeah.
Now, your cover bands, you know what they do? All original. Or no, they do all covers, and they go, here's one of our originals.
Right.
We don't care.
Right.
You know why we don't care? Because that song sounds just like all the covers. You know why? No, because when I do a cover, it's my version. When they do the original, it sounds just like the cover song. Well, it does, because it blends in. That's how it was. That's why a lot of these cover bands never got signed. They were just typical. That's why all this new wave and punk bands and all these, that's why they got signed. That's why Nirvana, Fresh.
Right.
Kurt Cobain, a sweater with a hole in it, and a jeans, could care less.
Right. Scruffy
But
hair.
playing great music. Now these other guys, satin jackets, hair done to the nines.
Right.
You know, makeup, glitter.
Right.
And here's Kurt
Trying
Cobain.
to sell it. And he was just doing it.
Because you know what? They went out and hustled. Mm-hmm. They sold 150,000 records on their own.
It's crazy.
And a record company went to them and go, well, how do we get you? How do we sell you? That's why I say to these kids, music, I know I'm going all over the place.
No, you're fine. No, I appreciate it.
If they want you, they're going to come see you, just like Nirvana. That's the story. Nirvana sold out their CDs everywhere, and then a bigger record company picked them up.
Yeah.
And that's why, because they were in demand. But
Exactly. No, that makes a good point, because sometimes you just have to start, like we said, like we were saying, just create the opportunity yourself. You can't wait for those doors to open. You just got to make it.
Well, how about this? We went to Duffy's. You know who Duffy's is?
Yeah.
We went to Duffy's. We want to have a comedy night here. He goes, what? We got football. We got chicken wings. Right? Duffy's. We got 2-for-1 drinks. I go, let me do a comedy night here. And we did it, and it was packed. The guy loved it.
Wow.
I mean, Duffy's.
Wow.
Who would go to Duffy's?
Wow.
So we do that all the time. We're always doing something somewhere.
Well, you're doing a unique thing.
Casey and I are real good about stuff like this.
Yeah.
We sell our own tickets. We got our own website.
That's great.
Which is cnscomedy.com.
I was just going to ask, where do people find you? And
cnscomedy.com.
Mm-hmm. And how about your Led Zeppelin?
PureZeppelin.com.
All right. So everybody needs to go there, check it out, look up dates, buy tickets.
Yeah, buy tickets, especially for Eats, Beats, and Laughs, because it's on a Wednesday, and I think we're kind of covering everything. Mm-hmm. We're starting early. It's going to be just an under 2-hour show, and it's $7.50, man.
How can you
if you go on our website? Regular tickets $15, but because you're listening to this podcast,
you get the inside scoop.
Yeah, that's right. You get buy one, get one.
Well, I love it. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Oh, this was great.
We learned a lot and had a good time.
We got to get Casey next time.
Definitely.
Maybe both of him will do it. We'll do it together.
That'll be fun. So I'll come see you at a show.
Are you going to come?
I will come to a show, for sure. I just got to put it in my calendar.
Okay, well, you don't need a +1. I'll give you a free ticket.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Or if you can get someone to buy one, and then you can take the free one. That would be cool, too.
All right.
So listen, I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Anybody out there that's listening, and you got like a girlfriend or a wife, and you want to do something special for them, this is the perfect time.
Can I ask you for one last favor?
Yes, one more.
Can you sign off the podcast? That's really
Hey, this is Spaz, and you're listening to Curve the Q.
All right. Thank you. Let's high five it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Spaz.
That was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Welcome to the Learning Curve.
Hey there, guys, and welcome to the Learning Curve segment of today's episode. So the first thing we're going to talk about is getting booked. So the conundrum is, how do you get booked to do a show? You don't have material to show the person who wants to book you, but then how do you get material to show them without having already been booked on something? Oh my gosh, it's such a vicious circle. But I like what Spaz had to say about taking every opportunity that you can. Like, just find every opportunity, no matter how crazy, no matter how small, just you take every opportunity that you can, which I thought was so true, because you never know who's watching. You're going to be maybe performing a set in a really, really small coffee shop, or you could be doing a comedy set at a random place, or in the middle of a square of plaza at a shopping mall. Who knows? but you never know who's out there in the crowd watching you that can be just super impressed by you and either become a fan or perhaps create your next opportunity with you. So you never know who's watching. So every chance you have, take it when you're first starting out, because you never know. I also want to say to get creative on how you put your material together. So especially when you're starting out, you have limited resources, but if you really sit there and brainstorm, you probably have more resources than you imagined. Use any and all equipment that you have available to you. So that might be anything that you have around the house, or if you have access to a local library or a school library or something like that, anything that you can maybe get equipment from. Maybe as someone who's in the audiovisual field, and who knows, that you can borrow equipment one day, just reach out. Put on a show. Sometimes you just gather around, make your own show, like something small for your friends. And it can be even at an establishment that you kind of just ask them if you can borrow space. No, it's, of course, if you know the people who run the establishment. Let's say Uncle Joe has a restaurant, or Aunt Sally has owns a local dive bar or something like that. Or just Uncle Fred has a killer backyard, and you can gather your friends and your family there one day and say, listen, I really want to put a video together of me playing some songs in front of a crowd, or I really want to put a set together and bounce it off of you guys and see what you guys think about these jokes, or whatever it is. Do your own little arts and crafts little show, and maybe get immediate feedback from people who love you, but no one on the other side needs to know that they're your close confidants. But whatever you can do, come up with creative ways to put some sort of video package together or other materials. And just remember not to jeopardize your quality too much. You have to cut corners in the beginning. That's understood. But try to remember to keep your quality as best as you can. I mean, if you listen back to the early episodes of this podcast, woo! That's another story altogether. And like I kind of mentioned before, dip into your own network and your own resources. Sometimes people are more than willing to help you if you just ask. Does anyone in your family have, or close circle, own an office, restaurant, or other space that you can borrow for a couple of hours for a photo shoot, a meeting, a presentation, or whatever? So sometimes you have to come up with really creative ways to get that material together to send out to people to get booked. And the second thing I want to talk about on Learning Curve is helping others is a really great way to also help yourself. So as Spaz was talking about in building their comedy platform, they integrated making it a platform not just for themselves, but for other comedians as well. And what's great about that, it allows local comedians, small comedians to rub shoulders with people who are more established, who are invited as artists as well as performers. So it's a great way to network. There's so many other inherent benefits to approaching launching your own thing in this way. So, like I said, networking. When you establish connections in a positive light with people, they remember you and want to recommend you to others. And as they grow, so does their network. And so then does yours, right? Also, it's a great opportunity to foster support and random help. Though you're helping someone strengthen a skill that you already have some experience in, perhaps, they may have other skills that they can in turn help you grow as well. Or if you have a project to do that involves a lack of a specific resource, the people you have forged these relationships with over time through supporting them, well, they'll want to now turn around and support you as well and contribute to what you're doing. And that kind of bridges over to team building too, because you can find people in this now tight group of creatives that you're helping, that you've created this platform for and are helping to also build up. You're growing in a group along with all of them, and that can naturally foster teams that sprout up and build new opportunities and new little projects. So I know I personally in my life have a group of people who I'm very close to, professionally and personally now, but great solid group of people who we are going on an adventure. we're working out starting a new venture together, and it's going to be really exciting and cool. So, and also all because, we kind of all approached with the same mindset of helping one another, and that fostered our strong bonds. And now we're like, we have an idea for this, and we decided we're going to do it. So you never know what can come of helping others as you help yourself. All right, so now on to our third segment, about just making your own opportunities happen. So Spaz talked about how he created his own acting company to keep performing Jesus Christ Superstar, and it led to a whole full season of shows. How cool is that? He also talked about how he ended up building his own comedy company in order to help facilitate Casey's dream. Another thing I pulled out of the conversation about making your own opportunities was that Spaz, he told the story about going into Duffy's and convincing, sports bar Duffy's, and convincing them to have a comedy night. I mean, who does that? Well, Spaz, clearly. Spaz does that. So I agree. I had an opportunity in radio that didn't pan out. It didn't really get off the jumping board, but in the meantime, I had caught a bit of the bug, and so that was one of the many, many, many reasons why I started this podcast. Also, back a little while ago, a few years ago, I wanted to switch from having a data analytics career to instead having a marketing career, but with no experience, I wasn't going to get hired anytime soon. So instead, I formed a company, my own company, Flintstone Media, shout out, and started building on the skills I already had through small side projects, and these side projects eventually grew into full contract work, and now marketing is what I do full time in addition to my podcasting. And guess what? It's my company, nobody else's. The last point about making our own opportunities is to pitch. Because sometimes when you throw a very creative, outside-the-box idea at a company, they may be willing just to give you a chance. So create your own opportunities by reaching out to venues that may not have otherwise thought to have whatever it is that your thing is there. A musician there, or poetry night there, or like he was saying, a comedy night at Duffy's. So thank you to Spaz for all of these great, wonderful ideas and for sharing them. That's the learning curve, guys. All right, thanks so much for listening, guys. It is, as always, a pleasure to be your host on Curve the Cube. So here's some awesome news that I know you guys have been itching for throughout this entire episode. Spaz has put together a fantastic offer for Curve the Cube's local listeners. If you're a fan of comedy, good times, and good drinks, then you can enter to win a pair of tickets to join me at my special Curve the Cube table for Eats, Drinks, and Laughs on April 26th at the famous Palm Beach Improv. The headliner that night is going to be Frankie Paul, who is hilarious. I'm telling you, hilarious. And there will be a full bar. That's also very important. And great music too. So enter for your chance to win and enjoy the fun with me, your host, Jaime. But this offer is a contest, so be sure to get your submissions in by no later than noon Eastern Standard Time on Friday, April 21st for your chance to win. For more information on how to submit, head to curvethecube.com. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you next time.
You have successfully curved the cube.
Curve the Cube podcast is where dreamers become doers. Through this passion project of mine, your host, Jaime Lagagner, moi, will inspire you to pursue your own dreams by taking you on an intimate tour of my own journey crafting a dream career. I provide powerful takeaways and action items for you to put into play in changing your own life. Along the way, I talk to other curvists who are doing the same to demystify the process that you too can follow. From actors to artists, musicians to business owners, underwater photographers to crafty creators, and everything in between, Curve the Cube will inspire you to pursue your own dreams and passions. Find your passion, do your thing with the Curve the Cube podcast. Enjoy!